And cue rock flying by. Ong, save us! Go get Sokka! And Hero!
Hero! Hey there, nomads of lore. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Sean.
And we are Mead and Mischief, your home away from no home. So today, we are discussing the unfortunate, very sad movie called Avatar. Not the blue one, it's another one.
Yep. James Cameron might have actually done a good job.
It's actually, the blue one's better than this one, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. No question.
No. Anyway, Avatar: Last Airbender, the movie, versus Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon, and the three-part series. So I recently watched it. I really don't know why. I was just kind of like,
I told him not to.
Let's watch it. So everybody was sitting around at home, and we watched, and it's terrible in so many levels. So is it Ong or Aang and Iroh and or what is it? Iroh,
yeah,
and Sokka
Catharsis.
instead of Sokka.
Yeah,
there's so many different bad names that are done wrong, or wrong alliteration. That's not right.
Pronunciation. Yeah.
There you go. Of so many different things, but
do you know what their justification was? Like, so I heard there's so many things. Oh my gosh. I like M. Night Shyamalan's early films. In fact, I even like The Village, and most people hate that one. But their justification, what he said, the reason why they changed the pronunciation was because it's more accurate to the heritage of the film, which, okay, fine. You cast all white actors in Asian roles, so clearly there's a mismatch going on.
So true.
So I don't know.
So my first big pick, besides the name, besides the pronunciation of all these words, was Aang himself.
Oh yeah,
it's a terrible. Like, okay, the kid might be fine, but he is not acting like Aang whatsoever.
Yeah,
he's the way it was written, angsty little angry kid that's maybe not angry, but he's just always got a scowl on his face, which is and that's not Aang at all. Aang, if you remember, and this of course is specifically just book one, basically.
Right.
This movie is, and Aang is just this happy-go-lucky little smiling kid who's running around like, playing tricks on people and being funny and
penguin sledding.
Yeah. And so, anyway, they cast him. The cast might be fine, just the way that he was directed and his acting. Who knows? Yeah. So, and then of course you have Katara was, like, probably out of the three main characters, she's probably the best. Still not great. Sokka is pretty terrible as well.
They cut Katara a lot.
They did. They took out a lot of her
real powerful Katara moments.
In fact,
took and gave to somebody else.
Yeah, there is the scene. There is pretty much the whole Earthbenders, unite scene that they have in the cartoon. Where Katara's standing on top of the thing in the prison and telling them all they need to get rid. And of course, nobody does anything. It's kind of a comical moment, but it's showing her, really passionate and that she cares and she wants everybody to, work together. Anyway, they give it to Aang, and it's just awkward, and I don't know. Aang's not even supposed to be a big spokesperson. He's always has everybody else speaking for him, and always has everybody else doing everything for him, other than the fighting and the learning. And so, yeah, I agree with that. That was terrible. I was trying to remember, there was something we talked about in the show that they changed with Zuko. Zuko was Zuko, but
the actor tried his best.
Yes, he
That's
did.
Very clear.
He did, and
the makeup was terrible. Did he have a scar? What happened there?
Yeah. Everything's just shortened, and of course they had to go from
some of that's vaguely understandable.
Yeah, it is. They have to go from hours and hours and hours worth of cartoon show to an hour and a half or hour and 45, whatever it is, movie, and so understandably it gets shortened, but there's just stuff that you don't need to cut. Iroh was completely the wrong cast, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to be this chuckly old man that's, short and stout and loves tea and is filled with random sayings and all the things. And it wasn't, I mean, I'm sure this guy's a great actor, whatever. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. Could be mistaken. But he was just kind of blah, very blah, and there was some of the parts where you could see that he was good and that he was kind of steering Zuko. You could kind of tell that. I was watching some of the things at the very beginning that he was making sure they were very clear in his lines to make sure that he was not saying anything, not being bad and not trying to push Zuko to be bad. Anyway, there was, of course, the blue spirit moment, and that was probably the first biggest disappointment for me, was when the blue spirit comes in and he I don't know, he didn't kick butt fight everybody. It was just kind of like a helmet rolled around the corner and then another guy gets sucked around the corner. Like it didn't show any of the fighting, and until a little bit later, it did show some of the swordsmanship. But it's supposed to be this big thing about who is this guy,
right?
Who can,
it's a mystery thing,
yeah? Who can do all this without bending? Like he never bends the entire time.
Yeah, and
so there's the big scene in the cartoon where they're on like poles, and Aang tells them to jump on his back, and they use one, and they like travel kind of a distance. Of course, they don't do that in the movie. and just a lot of things that are kind of missing, and then in that scene, let's see. From there,
it's been a long time since I've watched it. I actually watched it before I watched the TV show, and it's a bad movie without the TV show. But yeah.
So I'm trying to think. After that, we go to.
Well, the bit we were doing at the beginning, if you didn't get it, if you've never watched the movie, is the whole. I think it's supposed to represent that prison camp or whatever, which is it's a very famous or infamous scene where in the show, bending is amazing, and it's patterned off of real martial arts, and every movement is doing something and moving things and whatever. In the movie, they do, this in this one scene in particular, they do this huge stomp the yard. That's we're stomping the yard.
Yeah. That's about as stomp the yard as we get.
Right. But they do this huge stomp the yard scene, and then in the fact there's just this rock that just passes through the thing. They're done this huge big old thing, and that's all that happens.
Yeah. And that's pretty much throughout the entire thing.
And
there's a scene, I think it's in what I was just talking about, the blue spirit, when Aang starts doing this super elaborate movement, and all it is to like make fog come across the screen so that they can't see when the blue spirit fell,
right.
And he pulls the mask off and all that kind of stuff. But that's, they did a terrible job with the bending, and that is so core, central, and important. The graphics were not bad. It was just the connection.
What did you think about the CG of Appa, though?
Oh, well,
terrifying.
Yeah. Momo was actually not too terrible, but
right.
Appa was pretty bad. Yeah. Yes, it's a bad movie. I'm trying to remember what the ending is of season 1. It's the water, the Northern Water tribe. So they go up there and they cut the biggest important to me. One of the biggest important parts in season 1 for Katara is coming up to this Northern Water tribe and this master,
Paku,
saying, no, we don't train girls. Sorry, you're gonna have to go be with the healers. Have fun.
Right.
I'll train Aang and whatever. Well, in the movie, they just completely ignore that altogether. She trains and Aang trains. They train for like 2 seconds, and then he's like, hey, Aang, we haven't sparred in a long time. So they kind of spar, and it's completely worthless. And and then you see it kind of goes back to actually you see Fire Lord Ozai pretty quickly, which is something in in the cartoon, you don't see his face for a really long time.
Yeah, not until they have Black Sun, in fact.
Yeah. And so, but you see him real early in this, and he's working with Zhao and telling Zhao, well, you better, which was weird to me, you better hurry up before my son catches the Avatar, because he's going to be above you if he comes back. And I was like, why would that even have to be said?
And very much messes up Zhao's character too.
Yeah.
He's this lonely, plotting guy.
Somehow they find out where the spirits are, so that he's going to go and kill the moon or ocean spirit or whatever. I guess they don't say they're going to do that, but I think he does. I think he does say that. And so they get there, and of course all the waterbenders are freaking out. Oh no, they did do the one thing they did do right was the ash falling from the sky.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh look, okay, they did one thing right. They come in and they start fighting. Everybody starts fighting, and Aang needs to go be in a spiritual place to try to connect again. He goes up there. I was trying to think if so then they I can't remember the girl who turns into the moon spirit.
If you hadn't said that, I would know. What is her name? It's not Suki.
Nope.
What is her name?
Pre-Suki. We're gonna call her. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh! Why is my brain escaping?
Starts with I don't know.
Meets. Oh, yeah, this is embarrassing, people.
We're going to cut all this.
At least some of it. If it takes much longer. What is her name? Oh, my gosh. Why am I having to look up her? That's terrible. Yue. Sorry.
Right. So Yue...
She's an awesome character.
Yue is an awesome character in the cartoon. I guess that's what we're calling it, or the... Anyway,
the OG,
the OG Avatar, yeah. And
the real one.
They actually did and a good job, I think, casting Yue, but in the movie, but they kind of, it was weird that super shortened her relationship with Sokka,
right?
And it completely took out the part that she was, supposed to be, she was already not married, but
betrothed,
yeah, promised to someone. And so they took out all that complexity and then just kind of made them quickly fall in love, and then she dies. And they didn't even really give her the chance to, I don't know. I didn't like the way she transitioned from being person to spirit. It was like she just fell over, and then they put her body in the water, and then she didn't.
I don't remember
back.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I watched it.
Yeah.
I do remember Sokka being, especially going back. He was terrible, and what was very wooden. So I can't imagine their relationship had much dynamic. Was that?
No, it had absolutely none. He there was no depth to them, either one of, or well, there was depth to their characters a little bit, but there was no depth to that relationship whatsoever, because it was just so rushed. And then of course the scene where where Zhao kills the moon and it kind of turns red, and that was actually kind of cool to see in the movie. That was pretty well done. And then they turned the whole thing where Aang kind of went into the water. I don't know if he like merged with the water spirit or what he did to become the water monster thing with the arms, and and then the whole scene where Zhao got taken by the water monster and Zuko tried to save him. That was completely pulled out too. They had 4 waterbenders like put water arms on Zhao, lift him up high in the air and drop him, and that was it. And he fell to the ground. And
there you go.
You don't know if he's dead.
I was watching
or just
somebody else talking about that end scene too. And again, it's been a while since I've seen it, but they were talking about how, Aang's, we talked a lot about Aang's character being, he's more a pacifist, and he, in the cartoon, he kind of merges with the ocean spirit, who is a vengeful spirit at this point. His love essentially has been murdered, and so rampages, and I don't know. I guess thing is like the engine. I don't know exactly. It's kind of strange. But anyway, in the movie, Aang like threatens the whole ocean with basically becomes a genocidal maniac for like a minute, which is totally out of character for him. He would never threaten. He would never, as himself, without being crazy avatar state, whatever else, he would never threaten them with genocide, basically, you know, and so that was an interesting
threaten the Fire
Nation Navy, basically threatening to
because
destroy
he does
them.
what he does. I never thought about it that way, but that's so true because he lifts up this giant wave in front of the wall, and it's even taller than the wall.
Yeah,
and everybody in the Fire Nation's like, "Oh crap!"
Is he even in the Avatar state in that part?
I think at one point it kind of clicks in, like he turns everything turns blue, like he's doing it without it, and then once it gets to like a certain point, it does kind of click into Avatar state. But it's so not Aang, and that's just the problem with each of the characters is like.
And how can he all of a sudden control the Avatar state in that scene too?
Yeah, that's a good point. And just all the bad decisions they made with either who they picked or just how they direct. Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan, but how they directed or how they wrote or
at this
what
point,
they
he's
changed.
So arrogant and wacko. I'm not sorry.
It's bad. And at this point, he should be able to say that it's bad. I find it really hard to believe.
You know, it's like I've the same folks I was listening to talk about it. You know, it's the thing that is the most important worth saying is the film is extremely insulting to the fans because basically, and it's not the only movie adaptation that does this. It's just probably the worst or one of the worst. But it basically says, okay, these people love this thing. Let's make it look like so that because there's some scenes there's one I don't remember what you just said. There's some scenes that look like exactly the same shot, you know, and so it's just the same shot from the cartoon. So it's got all the look. From not all, but some of the look from the show without any of the substance, without any of what people, and so they think, well, people are going to go crazy for it because they love this other thing, but they're not intelligent enough to
live action Lion King. Go ahead.
I haven't even seen that, but that's but that's not unique to that. I mean, there are plenty of adaptations that do that. That basically let's just shoot these snapshots from the show, and these people's fandom will carry them through, and we'll make money. And didn't happen.
So we hope that the new coming Netflix
show
live action TV show, so multiple episode show. That I guess is going to cover all of 3 seasons of the Avatar.
I haven't researched deep into it. My understanding is supposed to be basically live action version of the show, but I could be lying.
Episode by episode, maybe. Hopefully, it'll be better. I'm hoping
they'll probably skip the Great Divide. What do you want to bet?
Probably. But anyway, so that was our take for sure. At least, it's a terrible, terrible discussion because it's such a terrible movie, but.
So skip it, but if you don't, comment below what you thought about it, what you hated the most, or if you somehow like it. Let us know.
I would love somebody that likes it to tell me what is so great about it.
I mean, it's got like probably a negative score on Rotten Tomatoes on both the critic and the popular.
Please,
so
even all you trolls that don't like it but want to say something positive below, go for it. I want to know what you think.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining in. Like the video. If you disliked it.
Remember, you're liking this video, not the movie.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, ring the bell, and we'll catch you guys next Monday. Have a good week.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.